there are three salivary glands. These are three major salivary glands. First one is parotid, next is submandibular salivary gland, and third one is sublingual salivary gland. So you should be able to identify all these three salivary glands. What you are seeing here, this is the parotid gland, and what you see here, this is the parotid duct. Okay, this is the parotid duct. So parotid gland, parotid duct, and how this parotid duct is running on this muscle, masseter muscle. It will go and it will pierce this muscle. This muscle is buccinator muscle. After piercing buccinator muscle, inside in the oral cavity where it will open opposite to the upper second molar tooth. Okay, so you should know how this parotid duct is going and where it is opening. And this parotid gland, what is important is what are the structures present within the parotid gland. There is one nerve. You can see these nerves, these branches. These are branches of a facial nerve. There is one important artery. You can see this artery. What you see here, this artery is a branch of external carotid artery. This is the superficial temporal artery, and this external carotid artery is present within the substance of parotid gland. One more important vein is also present, which is the retromandibular vein. So these three important structures are present within the parotid gland. So this is parotid gland. Inside parotid gland, nerve, artery and vein. You should know parotid duct, where the parotid duct is opening in the mouth. So this was the parotid salivary gland. Next is, and other things like blood supply, you should read it. Next is the submandibular gland. What you are seeing here, this one is the submandibular gland. Okay, the submandibular salivary gland. This submandibular salivary gland is present below the mandible. That's why it is called as a submandibular salivary gland. Now, in this, if you see, you can see two glands. What you see, this one is one gland, and this one is another gland. What you are seeing, this one is called as the submandibular salivary gland. It has two parts, superficial and the deep part. This is superficial and the deep part. Two parts are there. So this is submandibular salivary gland. What you are seeing here, what is this? Tongue. Below the tongue, this is sublingual gland. So sublingual gland and submandibular salivary gland. So these three are the salivary glands. Next, coming on to the next structure in the oral cavity, very important structure is this structure, tongue. Okay, so actually I do not have that right now, the tongue model. You would have seen the tongue model of a cadaver where there is a mandible with the tongue. Right now I do not have that this thing, okay, model, so I cannot show that model. But tongue is very important. I am showing it here. Tongue is very important. This tongue is now divided into anterior 2/3, posterior 1/3, and you should know the nerve supply of the tongue perfectly. Anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3. What is the nerve supply? There are four nerves which are basically associated with the tongue. 5th cranial nerve, 7th cranial nerve, 9th cranial nerve, 10th cranial nerve. Okay, that is trigeminal nerve, which branch? Facial nerve, which branch? Glossopharyngeal nerve. 9th cranial nerve is glossopharyngeal nerve. Yes, glossopharyngeal nerve, where it is supplying, and vagus nerve, where it is supplying. So you should know all the nerve supply of the tongue. Very, very important. Next thing about this tongue is, if I have this thing, I can show it. 1 minute.